which when it interacts with water, makes it burn even hotter. At the same time, though, paramedics were able to get to where the crash site was and evaluate if there were any survivors. And at that point, they evaluated that there were no survivors of the crash, and the firefighters continued to try to put out the quarter of an acre brush fire that was on the hillside. Now, I actually visited the crash site earlier, and I can tell you it was very foggy there. There will be an investigation as to what caused this, but one of the residents who lived across the street in an apartment building said he heard the helicopter going by. It was shortly before 10 a.m., and he didn't think much of it because helicopters do fly through there sometimes. There's a sheriff's station right here. It's not uncommon, but he heard the sound of something falling, and he said something seemed off with the way that helicopter sound. He went outside, he was on the phone, and he saw the crash moments later. And so obviously there's a lot of investigation here to come as to what caused that helicopter to go down. We believe it was on its way to a basketball game where his daughter Gigi was playing in the Mamba Academy, which is just about 15 minutes north of here.
You know, Ramona, all that information that you just said was brought forth by Darrell Osby, the LA County Fire Chief. He was mum on a lot of other factors. We'll wait to see exactly what happens in the days to come. There are 8 games in the NBA today. 2 are well done. The Nuggets and the Rockets are done. Fourth quarter for the Raptors and the Spurs. Celtics and Pelicans are on ESPN. A handful of games have just begun as we speak. Was there any talk from the reporting you have and the sources you have, because of the outpouring of emotion from NBA players, especially ones that are currently in the league and have to focus, that they may not play games today? Clearly that's not what happened. Was there any discussion?
Yeah, there was, and from my understanding, there were games that were about to tip off right when this news broke and came around. It was shocking for everybody involved and all the rest of the games that were going to be played that day. And there was conversations between the league and each of the teams and the general managers, because the players on both sides were shaken. I mean, they were so emotional in what Kobe meant to them. Some of them knew him personally. Some only knew him as Kobe the legend, because obviously he retired 4 years ago. But there were discussions about whether or not they could play these games, and that would be obviously an incredibly unprecedented thing. The only other time the NBA has not played a game is when